Okay, here we are. We are recording live here now, and we're about to do a little presentation here on Kahoot. It looks like it's just going to be me presenting without any viewers. Just so you know, I do have the captions turned on right now. I'm going to disable them for myself just on the video. You're welcome to enable them on your end. Certainly in the YouTube video, they should also be able to be enabled there as well. Yeah. I'm going to start by sharing my screen, being sure that the share sound button is enabled. And there we go. Okay. Learn with Kahoot. My name is Nathan Stevens, and we are here to learn with Kahoot. I just want to show video panel. There we go. So keep an eye on myself. I'm not falling out of the screen. Okay, so I want to point out that this video is protected by Creative Commons attribution, non-commercial, and share alike. So please, if you want to reuse this or make a derivative or any kind of that, you follow these terms as well in your distribution. I'd also like to make sure I acknowledge the land on which we are here today, which is I'm presenting out of Nelson, BC. For those of you who don't know, that is we're gathering on land that is traditional territory of the Sinixt, the Tanaha, and the Salix peoples. I also want to point out that is the home to many diverse Indigenous and Métis persons and people, and that we honor their connection to the land, rivers, and respect the importance of the environment in our community, to their community as well. Okay. That leads us on to really whatever your background is, whatever your age, ethnicity, academic level, interest, beliefs. If you're here to learn, you're welcome to stay. I encourage you to hang out and learn with me and learn with us. So a little bit about me. Again, I'm Nathan, and I've been working in hospitality management and hospital and restaurants for most of my entire life. And that a lot of those experiences have added up to me really wanting to share those experiences and share that knowledge and skills with younger generation looking to get into the restaurant industry. So my hopes are with taking this course that I'll be able to do that. How about you? Why are you taking PIDP, and what is it that inspired you to take this course? Are you currently teaching anywhere, or is it something, are you like me on the prowl for your first teaching opportunity out there somewhere? Yeah, please feel free to leave comments in the section below the YouTube video or the forum where they'll post this in our school Moodle. Okay, I'm about to show you a clip, so I want you to pay attention to how it makes you think and feel.
Family Feud. Wheel of Fortune.
Classic.
Keely Piper.
That looks like Big Bang.
Come on down.
They must have won something pretty big, right? All right, so how did you feel? What did you feel while watching these videos? For me, I felt I was very excited. I saw all those old school graphics from my childhood, and I just couldn't think of first time I played my Super Nintendo or played my Nintendo, really. The first time I ever saw Mario on a screen. It blew my mind. I was so excited about it. So yeah, that definitely incurred some excitement for me. What about the audience? Do you think that the audience was engaged in those videos, in those game shows, or the contestants? How about them? Were they engaged? Did they seem like they were part of what was going on? So how does this have to do with Kahoot? What is it all about? What does this have to do with Kahoot? Well, Kahoot is a way for you to gamify your classroom. Okay, so why use Kahoot? If you're going to gamify your classroom and use this type of technology, why use Kahoot? Well, why don't we hear from one of the creators?
My name is
that again.
So my name is Alfin Gewang, and I'm a professor in game technology at NTNU. But also the inventor and co-founder, and also do some other stuff, music and other stuff for Kahoot. I had the idea for Kahoot because I was teaching a lot of large classes. So I wanted to make it possible for me to interact with the students as well as engage them. So my idea was basically to transform the classroom into a game show. After I had this idea, I launched 2 master projects that later was the foundation for what Kahoot is today. I think it's one of the main tools I use to make sure that the students are paying attention. So after I've explained something for a certain amount of time, I always have some questions just to make sure that they're paying attention and also to keep them awake and engaged.
Over there.
The most important thing is that it changes the atmosphere in the classroom. Since there's audio and music, they start to chit-chat. It's much more energy in the classroom. I think that's the main difference.
Is that fun?
So most students, when I do like course evaluations, this is awesome, we love the Kahoots. Less than 1% say too much Kahoots, but the majority, they really enjoy the Kahoots and think they're also educational.
Yeah, okay.
So I think there's a conception among some professors that it's more like for high school or K-12 but it's really, really efficient and useful for higher ed. I think that's the main thing. Maybe it's more we'll start to use and see the benefits from using it.
Perfect. So that's Kahoot from the co-founder and why he uses it, why he developed it.
When you first start using it, it's instant engagement. Anyone can figure it out.
I think it's the bright colors and then the music they like.
You had taking the tech tool and using it as a teaching tool.
And it's free, so it's always in the budget. It's just amazing that you can do so many things with it and you don't have to come out of pocket.
There you have it. Kahoot. People like it. People want to use it. Why don't we take a little demo, a little tour of Kahoot? I'm going to share a new screen here. And here we are on my web browser. I'm using Google Chrome. You can see I am logged in here. And I just want to make sure so here we go. Okay. Yeah, okay, so here we are. We are at my home base for Kahoot. You can see I have here the create button at the top. It's easy to start right there. This is where you log in. It's really quick and simple. If you don't have an account, feel free to do so. And the other spot here is to create a Kahoot right here. So we're currently in this tab, the home tab over here on the left. So that just kind of shows you a basic overview of different areas of Kahoot all at once. But I think, checking out sort of these other side notes is really important. So the Discover tab, second tab down, is where you can search for all kinds of Kahoots that have been made. So let's just type in Apple. Okay, so we're going to search Apple and see what we get. So right away, we've got over 10,000 Kahoot that have been submitted publicly. So anyone can use these, right? So this is a pretty awesome little facet that you can right away. So and you can change it. So if you want to have, if it's Apple for grade 3 or Apple for higher education, you'll get different search results. Again, the subject, if it's Apple to do with science or Apple to do with social studies, you're going to have different results based on that as well. So there's more filters here on the left, and any of these quizzes can be adapted or edited or used as long as they are publicly shared, right? So once you pick one of those out or decided to make your own, they will show up here in your library. So these are all various ones here. I also want to point out this assign button. This is a pretty cool little thing. You can use this to do homework assignment, allow people to use Kahoot at home on their own, and then you can get results that way. Always allows them to do a little more research for long answer questions or things like that. It's also where you can start your Kahoot to get it going. We have reports. So this is the feedback from all previous a Kahoot, you can just open it and you can see all the different feedback. These are pretty much just me playing around with it, so there's not much information there. But once you have, a lot of them used in your classrooms, you'll start to see how that area can be really useful. The group area is really cool here, so it allows you to collaborate and create some different groups and assign different groups tasks, or Kahoots rather. And it's pretty cool if you wanted to say, for instance, like do like a tournament bracket and have different groups and different teams in your school or your classes. They could be different groups here like that, and you can join and show the different groups that you're joined to. And then Marketplace, this is a place for where the content that you can use, the quizzes and what have you not, slides, they've been created by creators who have been verified. And then therefore they cost money. So if this is within your budget, there's certainly a great way for you to utilize this tool even further, especially, if you're just starting out and you want to get some ideas. This might be a way, hey, I'll spend $3 to get a good, founding sort of starter base kind of looking quizzes to build off of, right? So that might be for you. So I'm just going to go right back to our library here, and I'm going to go ahead and get ready. Kahoot. Okay, so we have this one here. Let's play Kahoot. There's 4 questions. You just go ahead and click that start button. It's going to bring up this loading screen. Just going to create a unique, it'll allow you first to pick the game type that you want to use. So there's the various different game types we'll get into a little later. We'll just click on the classic mode here, and a pin and QR code is going to pop up there, as you can see. So this pin you can use if you're watching this after the fact. You can put this pin in and try out this quiz for yourself. I'm going to just actually use my mobile phone and the camera, and I'm going to point it at that QR code. It's going to give me my little tab to push there, and it's going to open up on my end and allow me to add my nickname. Okay, so that's also an important feature. I can add any kind of name I want. It doesn't have to be me, but that is me. I can change this avatar if I want, but hey, I like penguin with glasses. That's me. Okay. For any reason you didn't want to let me in, you could click on my name here, and it would not allow me to enter the Kahoot. You can also lock it to prevent anyone else from joining. So if you had like a certain amount of people that you wanted as a maximum, you could lock it at that point before you start it. So let's go ahead and start it. So on my screen, it's going to show me like a little getting ready. Let's play Kahoot. The main screen. So the main screen would be your Zoom, or in your classroom, your e-board or your projector. Is this my first Kahoot? No, it's not. It's not my first Kahoot. So this one, obviously, it doesn't matter what they pick. It's just a good information for the teacher or the whoever's putting on the Kahoot to get some background information. Okay, so once again here, next question. Do you need an account to participate? Let me see. I think I made an account for this, right? So I think I need an account. Oh, no, it says incorrect. I guess for anyone to use Kahoot like I am right now playing, I don't need an account. All you do is go to that, you utilize the code there on kahoot.it in your web browser, or as I did with your mobile camera, just scan that QR code and there you are. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Okay, no more points. Okay, so I got 900 points for that. True or false? Can you use Kahoot offline? We think we talked about this. True, yes. Looks like correct. Yes, you can use it offline. And here we go with the points. Oh, well, almost doubled my points there. Great, looking good. Okay, so how do you assign Kahoot? I think we just talked about this. So there is a button. You can click the assign button right in the library. There you go. So that is correct. That is how you can assign a Kahoot. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. There's a drum roll. There's third place finisher. The second place non-existent finisher. The first place finisher. Yay, that would be me, Nate. And then the confetti. All right, so it makes you feel good. You won. Again, releasing a little bit of that fun factor into the classroom, right? So at the end here, you can see the podium, you can view a summary, and there's a feedback option here, so you can communicate about that. You can go ahead and play again and pick a different game to do the same quiz in if you'd like. We're just going to go right back to where we started the Kahoot, and here we are in the Kahoot. my library, and I'm going to just go ahead and show you how to edit this one that I just made. So we've got the questions here on the left. We saw early on, yes, did you need an account? No, you don't need an account to use it. So let's add one. So we're gonna go to the very last question and we're gonna add a question. Now you can just go ahead and click one of these types of questions and start putting it in yourself, or you can go ahead and search something. So I'm gonna search for something related to my field. How about Italian wine? Okay. Right here, how do you say wine in Italian? Perfect. I'm going to add that. Bang, it's in my quiz. I can keep searching. I also like the fact that you can see underneath each of these suggestions here. This is basically using the discovery tool for just looking at questions. You can see here, this is from the WSET level 2 chapters 1 through 4. So this is from a quiz that Lindsay Groves has uploaded that has had 832 plays. So you can actually say, okay, well, I actually kind of want to see that quiz. And you can click on that right there, and it's going to bring you up that quiz that this question came from. And holy smokes, look at that. We've got a whole bunch more questions on a topic that I'm trying to put a quiz together for. And they happen to do with WSET, which is an accreditation, international wine sommelier accreditation. So you know that there's going to be a few eyes on this to make sure that it has been following, doing its due diligence and best practices in terms of making sure that these are valid questions to be asking your students about wine. So that's a really great tool, and you can go right ahead and on this button right here, save it to your favorites. And if you wanted to edit it, you just click that edit button. It's going to ask you to right here to duplicate it. And by duplicating it, it puts it right into your library. So we're just going to go done, exiting here. And you can see right there, WSET level 2, chapter 1 through 7 is now saved in my library. So I can access it and access those questions and use them in other Kahoots if I wanted to. So really great tool, very, very powerful. Let's get back to the presentation. Now that we've had a chance to see demo Kahoot, yeah, let's talk a little bit more about it. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about it. So how does it excite? Right? So we want to talk about the 4E's, right? So we're talking about excitement, engagement, we're talking about education and evaluation. Okay, so how does it excite? How does this excite? Okay, it's fast-paced trivia, right? It's fun, it's fast-paced. We like to see it. We like to play it. And I think so just by looking at those videos early on, there's a lot of excitement in games and playing games, you know? So what it is also can turn a dull topic into something fun. And it also, you know, it feels good. Feels good to win. It feels good to do good. So according to Dr. John here, the professor of psychology and director of the doctoral program in applied cognitive and brain sciences at Drexel University in Pennsylvania, you get a neural reward, you know, when you get something right. Even when you see something on the screen, a question come up that you know the answer for, before you even filled out the answer, you get a little burst of a good feeling, you know, and that little good feeling adds a lot to the excitement of using Kahoot, as does bonding with your classmates. It's playing games is a fun way to bond, engage in that friendly competition. You know, it makes you want to do better if you want to beat your friend, you know. When I'm playing video games, I get a little competitive, you know. I definitely want to strive to be better so I can get more of those wins, right? Colorful media with fun music, right? So a lot of people mention the music, and we talk about like how games are colorful and interesting, and that they goes a long ways towards that excitement. This is an article, or this is just a quote from using Kahoot in the classroom to create engagement and active learning, a game-based technology solution for e-learning purposes. So just a little bit of that reinforcement that it creates excitement in the classroom. How does it engage? Okay, how does it engage students? Well, according to this article by Miriam Jean Cadet, titled Application of Game-Based Online Learning Platform Kahoot, a formative evaluation tool to assess learning, that it helps to motivate, engage, and enhance learning experiences, right? Okay, and not only that, a large number of students would agree that it boosted self-confidence, that it was fun and easy to use. Another large portion that engagement was better, understanding of topics was easier, they got better scores on their tests, and that it helped them kind of know what they needed to review. They helped them kind of have a good idea of what was missing, some of the areas that were missing. She goes on to say that higher education is carefully reinvented in ways to capture students' concentration and interactions to assess classroom dynamics and learning outcomes, so that motivate, engage, and enhance learning experiences by using multiple types of questions and game types, by encouraging that participation. The fact that it's anonymous, right? So it allows you to put your hand up, and even if you don't know the answer, you can give it a shot and not feel like everyone's listening to you shout out the wrong answer. Because I think that is definitely a barrier for some people. They don't want to test themselves, and when a teacher asks the question by putting their hand up, because they don't want to be wrong. Okay, so it can capture concentration, motivate, enhance learning experience, all the different tools at your disposal, right? And that effect of that learning and that group activity that you can use out of it, and again, that self-assessment, so allowing you to kind of see for yourself where you're at. How does it educate? Okay, well, it helps with problem-solving abilities. It helps improve cognitive skills. It's fun, formative assessment, and it adheres to knowledge and understanding of topics. Helps in that direction very much so, right? So a lot of those skills, including describing, explaining, identifying, listing, and predicting, are very, very easy to access just with the base questionnaire of quizzes, true, false, and multiple choice, right? Like the trivia, multiple choice, true or false, will lead into those three levels of the remember, understand, and apply of Bloom's taxonomy. So anyone who's familiar, Bloom taxonomy is a hierarchy of cognitive understanding and in topics. So in this case, those three options that you would have with the multiple choice, true or false, can really access those lower levels. The brainstorming, word bubble, open-ended question aspects will allow you to engage more with that analyze, evaluate, and create levels, those higher levels of Bloom's taxonomy, right? Okay, so how does it evaluate? But before we go on, I just wanted to say, point out from the efficacy, analyzing the efficacy of testing effects using Kahoot on student performance. This is an article. They do say that utilizing brainstorming, word bubble, open-ended questions, slide presentations, and the Kahoot creation assignments provide collaboration and multiple ways to access higher levels of learning. That going beyond just simple quiz, trivia, utilizing the advanced features, including polls, surveys, pin drops, slide presentations, will allow instructors to go further towards meeting the needs of their adult learners. So how does it evaluate then? How can it be used as an evaluation tool? So, from the using Kahoot to increase exam scores and engagement by Patricia Bazuk and Michelle Heath. Kahoot is a trivia game that allows students to connect course topics and learning paths while pointing out learning gaps to instructors. That it obviously is a way to develop a deeper understanding and to get yourself immediate feedback. So what are some other effective strategies for assessing learning outcome using Kahoot? It is really good for pre-assessment, chapter module review. So at the end of any chapter, you can go back and review, to prepare for quiz or summative exams, to get that daily engagement, getting your students to participate in the lessons, and giving you and the learners some instant feedback. Okay, yeah, and so from the article analyzing the efficacy of testing effect using Kahoot on student performance. Again, students appreciate the immediate feedback from Kahoot as it provides them with real-time gauge where they stood in the class. Students also felt that being exposed to questions leading up to the exam helped them feel more comfortable when taking high-stakes examinations. That the testing effect through the use of Kahoot had a significant impact on academic performances. And they also note that the university professors using Kahoot has the potential to improve academic performance on high-stakes summative exams in a fun and energetic way, engaging way. Okay. So let's just talk a little bit about some of the principles of evaluation. I'd like to talk about the 5 principles as highlighted by Fenwick and Parson in The Art of Evaluation. So that it is ongoing, that you're using Kahoot daily, that can help ease the fear of test questions and provide continual feedback again for you and the learners. That it is valid and reliable. Kahoot can help students understand what they need to know with consistency. Okay, it's comprehensive. Kahoot provides access to a large range of materials and tools to help develop a full range of skills. That it's communicated, gamified learning with Kahoot is easy to use, it's easy to learn, provides simple clarity for both when creating and when participating. The variety of methods available. So you want to use a variety of methods, and there are a lot of different ways that you can use Kahoot. The many different game modes and types of questions allow for both qualitative and quantitative evaluation to be taking place. All right. So there you have it, the 4 E's of Kahoot. I do want to mention just a few little notes, just that there are some limitations, that sometimes a projector can make it very difficult to read the questions depending on how bright the classroom is. If you don't have an e-board or you're not doing it online on a Zoom like this. If you don't have an internet connection, you can't really do them live. You can only do them offline, so there's some limitations there. You can't change your answer. Once you pick something, even if it was by accident, you can't go back and change it. Running out of time to answer can be stressful. The pressure of being under time is stressful, especially for some more than others. The fear of loss and losing and not winning can be a little bit limiting for some people. If you've got an answer wrong, it's hard to catch up in points because you get a 0 when the points are worth quite a bit per question, between 1,000 and 2,000 points, depending on how much time you spend, how much time there is to take to answer the question. Getting it wrong is a pretty destructive to your score. So keep those things in mind when you're building your Kahoots, and you should be okay. Q&A, we definitely love to have a little bit of question and answering discussion banter here about Kahoot and what you thought about this presentation, if there was something missing, or if you found something to be very intriguing to you personally, or if you have an anecdote of your own that you would like to add. I would very much like to hear them. Please feel free to post them in the comments below in the YouTube video or on the forum, and I would be happy to engage in some discussion with you. Well, there you have it. Thank you for participating. I appreciate you for being a part of this presentation and for getting to the end of it with me. Thank you. And that'll be that. So. With that, hopefully this all worked out and the audio isn't ruined in any way, and you'll be able to enjoy this yourselves later, like I have making it. Thank you.